Hey, it's Akhtar Khan from Reaching Excellence. In this video, I'm going to talk to you about the difference between using a bank and a mortgage broker to raise finance for your deal. So stay tuned. Okay, so here's a question that we've been having a lot inside the Reaching Excellence Academy. We've had a load of new members join us, and people have been asking, should I use my bank to go and get finance and go and get buy-to-let mortgages and so forth, or should I go to a mortgage broker? And if so, how do I know who is a good mortgage broker? So let's talk about this, okay? So look, if you are going to go and get financing or funding or mortgages, then if you fit the normal criteria, i.e. you've got the right job, you've got the right employment, you've got clean credit, and you've got the right income, then going to a bank for a residential mortgage is probably a pretty sensible move, because you'll get a decent rate in the high street as long as you tick their box and that criteria. So if you don't, let's say you're self-employed, let's say you've got some adverse credit, a default or something like that, or let's say your employment history has been a little bit shaky or whatever, then you're not going to quite fit the mold when it comes to a high street bank. This is where a mortgage broker really comes into play, because a mortgage broker has access to like thousands more products than what you're going to find in the high street, and their job is to find the right product that's going to suit your circumstances, your requirements, and your particular deal. Okay, so I just kind of touch base on just the example of residential mortgages. Okay, when it comes to buy-to-let, you can get buy-to-let from the high street. The criteria doesn't seem to be so favorable, depending on what bank you're going to use. Sometimes they've got different loan to value ratios, sometimes their criteria is a little bit stringent, sometimes the interest rate's going to be a little bit higher, sometimes they've got caps on like the number of properties that you can have. So going to a mortgage broker opens up the market. You can find or they can find for you lenders that are going to be more favorable in terms of interest rate, more favorable in terms of the loan to value ratio, and also depending on what you're trying to do. The key thing here is a good mortgage broker will not only understand the mortgages and the mortgage products that are out there, but they'll understand what you're trying to do. They will understand the property strategies that you employ. So the problem that you're going to have is if you go to a high street bank, they're just going to know the vanilla types of buy-to-let strategy. Oh, you're going to do a buy-to-let, you're going to just put some money into as a deposit, you're going to put it in there, you might refinance. Whereas a good mortgage broker and a really good mortgage broker will understand all the creative types of contracts and also how you're going to structure the deals. So they won't just understand buy-to-let, but they'll understand things like bridging finance, they'll understand you doing JVs, they'll understand the ins and outs and the complexities of some of the more advanced strategies. And this is really, really important, because if you've got a broker that doesn't understand this stuff and you try and propose something or tell them what you're going to do, if they don't understand, you're going to confuse them. If you confuse them, you lose them. I have so many of my mentees coming back to me saying, Akhtar, my current mortgage broker is saying that we can't do this and you can't do that. And I say to them, look, when they say that when they tell you that you can't do it, what they're really saying is they can't do it or they don't know how to do it. So this is really important. When it comes to selecting the right mortgage broker, you need to have someone that understands the types of property strategies that you're going to do. So if your mortgage broker isn't familiar with things like lease options, exchange with delayed completion, buy, refurbish, refinance and rent out, if they're not familiar with that kind of stuff and they're not familiar with, buying discounted, below market value, adding value, if they do not understand those concepts, the kind of trade secrets, so to speak, they're not really going to be able to help you, okay? So it's really important that you've got someone that not only understands the mortgages and the finance and what products are out there, but the strategy that you're trying to employ. And the reason this is important is when you go to a good mortgage broker, you should be able to say to them, look, here's the property deal that I've got. This is what I want to do. How can we do this? And they then go off and find the right mortgage product for you, okay? When it comes to selecting a power team, and this doesn't just go for mortgage brokers, this goes for anyone. This goes for people like, solicitors, builders, your mortgage brokers, your finance team, everyone. You need to have people around you that have got a can-do mindset. There is nothing worse than having people who just don't know or think you can't do stuff, because it will limit you and it will stop you, okay? Being a successful property entrepreneur is really about thinking outside the box. It's about coming up with solutions that sometimes other people can't think about. So you need to make sure you've got a broker or a power team that are very solution focused. They're not going to get stuck by the problems. They're not going to get stuck in a box, which will happen if you go to the bank, because because they don't understand the creative stuff that we're talking about. They don't understand the insider secrets and the kind of strategies that we run. So for them, they'll be like, what are you doing? I don't get it. How can we do that? Whereas a good mortgage broker will understand what you're doing. They'll understand the strategy. They'll understand your objectives. And also they'll understand what mortgage product that they're going to need to use for you to achieve your objectives. Okay. So this is the difference between using a bank and using a mortgage broker. I'm going to be producing some more videos on raising finance and how to find the right mortgage broker. If you've got any questions, please pop them in the comment box below. Remember to like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next video. Take care. Bye for now.